Hey, it's Devon with Dave Jones Realty here, where we do everything but the packing. And today I am working with Melanie from Apex Radon Solutions. And this month of January is National Radon Action Month. So Melanie's going to talk to us a little bit about radon systems, why we need to check for them, and who should be looking for them. So Melanie, talk to us a little bit about why are we doing Radon Action Month in the month of January?
So January is in the winter, and in the winter it's best to check your house for radon because it gives us the best indication because you have your doors closed and your windows closed, and it shows us like what the overall average would be during the year.
Okay, so in the winter time, we're going to be checking for that. Are the gas levels higher because everything's closed up?
Yep, so the radon comes, your house is like a straw and it pulls from the foundation up, so the radon levels tend to be higher during that month.
So now you've prompted that. We should probably explain, what is radon?
I was thinking that.
Okay.
That's funny. So radon is an odorless, colorless gas. It comes from the underground, and it goes, most of it is from the soil. And it starts off as uranium, and then it changes. And the thing we're really worried about is when the radon is trapped in your house. And then once the radon starts to decay, the little decay particles, things stick to it. And that's when we're inhaling it, aspirating it. And that's when the changes occur.
Okay, so there's different levels. So if somebody's doing radon testing, as a buyer, as an agent, I'm going to be telling buyers that they probably could or should be getting a radon testing to see if there's mitigation. But what are the levels that we're looking for? What is acceptable? What is highly dangerous? And what would you recommend that a buyer be looking for in a result?
So we're radon action level is 4.0 picocuries per liter, but our goal is to get radon as low as absolutely possible. So 1 in 4 homes have radon above action level, but our goal is to get it as low as possible.
Okay, and we are going to go downstairs and look at a radon system that you'll explain how you are mitigating it. But who should be doing radon testing in January?
Yeah, so we don't ever say any radon level is safe. That's one of the things. So with a number, we can't say like, oh, it's 3, you're safe. We want to make sure that it's just as low as possible. And then newer houses are more secure and they're buttoned up now. So it doesn't have as much ventilation. So we're seeing a lot of high radon in new homes. And then we have any home that has a basement or a slab. So we're doing one a mitigation system now on one that has a slab. So we won't be able to go in the basement, but we'll be able to go like through the closet, and then the pipes go in the attic and out the roof line.
Okay, are there different styles of homes that are more susceptible to trapping the gas, like a Cape versus colonial versus a ranch, or?
Yeah, we haven't found that, but then that's a good question because like the crawl space, people think, oh, I just have a crawl space, I'm okay. So we don't test in the crawl space, we test on the lowest possible livable level, which would be the room, above the crawl space.
Okay. And should sellers be doing this, or current homeowners? Should they be doing that even if they have a radon mitigation system?
So the radon mitigation system is going to tell on the gauge, it's just going to tell if the fan is working or not. So all homeowners should do a radon, and it's also to the a radon test, and also to the 3rd level. So if you have an apartment on the 3rd level or a condo, or you can still test. You should still test in Connecticut. In Florida, they found it on the 28th floor because it does go through sometimes like the heat, the ductwork, and through your home.
And you also had mentioned that if you make any modifications to your home as a homeowner, it could change the radon makeup or the gases. And so if you've made any remodeling, add-ons, additions, things like that, then you should have it retested.
Yes, the EPA recommends every 2 years, but also if there's an addition or like major change in the area, like blasting or different kinds of environmental things going on, then we recommend testing again.
Okay, so we're gonna go head downstairs and show you what a radon mitigation system looks like, and Melanie will walk you through the system and when you should have it checked and tested regularly. All right, so we're back here with Melanie, and we are going to be looking at the radon mitigation system that is in this basement of this house. It is a Cape Cod house, full unfinished basement, and this system was installed in January of 2024. So Melanie, tell us, what are we looking at here? When a buyer's going into a house that they already have a radon mitigation system, what are we looking at?
So we're looking at the gauge, and we want to make sure that it's not at 0. So there's a line on here on the sticker. It'll say if the gauge, if the liquid is at 0, that means that the system is off, the fan is off. So this is not an indication of the different radon levels. This is just an indication that the fan is suctioning.
Okay. So in the picture view, you may not be able to see, but this white pipe goes all the way down, is drilled into the concrete, and there's actually another one behind us. What is down there? Like, how is this working out of the concrete? What is it doing?
So it's pulling the airflow from underneath the house, the foundation, before it comes into the house. So when we make the radon mitigation system, we dig out 2 to 10 gallons of dirt underneath there. So we make this really big void so that the air can pull underneath. And then the reason why there's another extraction point was because of the because we wanted to communicate underneath the whole under the foundation, but also because the radon levels were high.
So depending on the size of the basement or the house, there could be more than one of these pipes throughout the basement.
Yes, and so there might be, but we call it one system because then it's one fan on the outside, and we can do up to 5 pipes on this, or 5 extraction points on the system.
Okay, so this pipe is going up out of the house, and then what is on the outside?
So on the outside, so we seal it down here, and then we want to make sure it has the proper pitch. And then on the outside, it's going to come out, and then it's going to go alongside the house. And there's going to be a fan on the outside, and that fan is going to pull, and then it's going to exhaust out above the roof line so that the radon doesn't come back into the house like through the windows.
And this fan is more like a suction, more like a vacuum versus a blower fan, or is it both?
It's pulling.
It's pulling.
It's pulling and pushing at the same time.
Okay.
So new construction would be a little different. You just have the pipe, and you have underneath the foundation, you could do a pipe, like a perforated pipe underneath there. And then we do a 4-inch layer of gravel, put a poly layer. It's kind of like a pool liner. And then they have the pipe, right? The pipe goes all the way through the house, but in that instance, it's on the inside.
Okay.
So it goes inside, and then no fan. And then it goes through the attic, and it goes out the roof line.
Okay.
So if, and then what we do is once the house is all closed up and they get their CO, then we test for radon. And if the radon is above action level, then we activate it with the fan.
Okay. Now, I've seen a lot of houses. I've seen a lot of radon mitigation systems. Sometimes the liquid is blue. I have seen red a handful of times. Is there any indication like why you have blue or red, or is it just different companies that install their systems?
Yeah, I think it's just different.
Okay.
It's the same. You always see these numbers, and the sticker will look different, but you're really, what you want to look for is who to call if it's not on. And then it's 0.
Okay.
If it's at 0, that means the fan's not working.
All right, and just to clarify, so there's a thing here, and if it is level, so like if this little U becomes level, that's when they want to call and have somebody come out and double check it. And then you recommend every 2 years to have this system checked, just like you would a furnace or your hot water heater or something like that?
Yep, so we do service on the system. We check the fan, make sure it's working, and we can clean the fan. Want to make sure that nothing's cracking or breaking. There's a moisture guard on our systems that go above the pipe, and then they go around the fan so that the condensation goes around it. And then we check the couplers on just make sure the fan's secure, and then we leave a radon test.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you some pricing questions. I'm not going to hold you to anything because it is on video.
No problem.
But how much is a radon testing system? Typically, so as a buyer, if I'm saying we're going to do a radon test, what is an average cost to have the house tested for radon? It's
between $165 and $185 to test.
Okay.
And then to do a radon system, like a 1-pipe system. So this is a 2-pipe system. They start at about $1,400.
Okay, so we're not talking like $10,000 of mitigation if you have a level over 4.
Right, but then every house is unique. Right, and it's hard to give like something like that because then you have somebody has a crawl space, like a dirt crawl space, and the dirt needs to be covered. So that's a great starting point, and that's what we do on average. Like the most common ones are just a single pipe system.
Okay, so Melanie has been gracious enough for the January National Radon Action Month, that we are going to be doing complimentary radon testing through the end of March. So don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on Instagram, comment radon system below, and I'm going to send you guys a free radon kit if you are in the process of buying or selling your home and you're worried about radon. Anything else that we should know about radon systems?
Well, I would say from you as a real estate professional, what we can give it to homeowners as well.
Okay.
If they mention your name.
Awesome.
Like if they comment, then we can do it. If you're a current homeowner and you haven't tested within 2 years or never tested, that'd be really good.
All right. Well, thank you so much for
you're
explaining
welcome.
radon. And don't forget, January is Radon Action Month. If you are interested, again, hit us up and let us know what your questions are. Thanks.
Thank you.